Welcome to our December 2019 Real-Time CEO upgrade video. In this upgrade we've done three things. We've improved and simplified the tagging facilities. We've improved the normalization of salaries and the non-business adjustments. And we've also expanded the monthly data entry editing feature. So let's take a look at those three, and to show you the first two, I'm actually going to bring in or enter a new month. So let's do that first of all and get through to the section where the new features exist. So I'm selecting my two CSV files for the month that I'm importing, and let's move straight through to the area where we are checking and allocating tags. Now, the first thing that you are going to notice is in each section there is a new tag called non-operational. What this tag will do is remove the entire line from the operational calculation. So if I come down into the indirect cost area, you'll see in our demonstration data here that we have a line called tax expense, which is non-operational. So I exclude that by going to the indirect cost tab, select non-operational, and attach the tag. Now, I've also got a line just above that called rent, and I'm going to use that line when we get to the non-business adjustment enhancements. So for now I'm going to tag that as other so we can see that and then adjust against it later on. Over in the balance sheet you'll also see that we have a non-operational asset. Quite often on your balance sheet there will be components, predominantly assets, that have no bearing to the business. We can now exclude them from the calculation. When I then proceed to the preview lines, this is very similar, except that you will now see that there are non-operational lines in each of these sections that you can check as you go through. Now we move into the adjustments, and this has a very different look and feel from what was previously in the software, although parts of it are very similar. Let's look at normalization of owner's salaries first. We add an adjustment. We select the line that we want to adjust. We type in the amount that was paid. We type in the amount that was the commercial, and we then add the adjustment. And it's important to note that we could in fact have as many of these adjustments as we like. And what you will see as we make these adjustments is that they stack up here, and when we click next we know that those have been done. Other than the look and feel, that's relatively similar to how the software used to behave, but in non-business adjustments it's quite different. Previously, what used to happen when you made an adjustment for a non-business item is that you were adjusting against a section, not a line. We've now got the ability to adjust against a line. So if we select the line that we tagged earlier on, which was rent, this business is having a rent charge of $20,000, but a significant part of that is over and above the commercial amount. So if I want to remove that, I can remove, let's say $8,000 of that is non-business, and to remove it I enter it as a negative number, check the adjusted value, and then add the adjustment. And once again, you can make as many adjustments to individual lines as you want, and they will stack up here. And once you click finish, we now move back into the software with that month processed. Now, the first place that you go to once the monthly data has been brought in is always monthly data. Please slow down and check that the data looks correct. There are certain things that we suggest you do every time. Check that the totals look correct. Check the unspecified remainder numbers. Now, just a reminder on what unspecified remainder means. It is the total of the section less the tabs that have been defined. So it's everything that you did not tag. What you should be looking for when you're checking the unspecified remainder is, has there been a dramatic change in this value? And particularly down in the balance sheet, If you, for example, see a dramatic change in your unspecified remainder in liabilities, the most likely reason is that you've got a new account that maybe should have been tagged. And particularly if that new account is a debt account, it's really important that you add the tag, because otherwise that debt component is going to be included in the operational investment calculation. Now, in terms of the new layout of monthly data entry, the first thing that we've done is to change the way that the normalisation of owners' salaries and the non-business adjustments now present in this monthly data view. Previously, they all used to stack up down in the distribution section. What we've now done is to put them back into the actual section so that you can check those section totals against the income statement or the balance sheet that's in front of you. So this view is designed to look very similar to the traditional accounting view of the raw data you're importing. Rest assured that when all the numbers go into the software, the correct operational calculations will occur, and that is why correct tagging is so important. Now let's take a look at the new editing features in monthly data entry. To turn on the editing features, we click the edit button and the action menus appear. They're the boxes with 3 dots in them. And now we've got the ability to change things in editing that we didn't have before. In the retagging functionality, we've always been able to retag between direct costs, indirect costs and miscellaneous. What we can now do is retag in and out of the distribution section. That's actually going to be very, very useful in the situation where a client has not done the normalisation of owner salaries or the MBA adjustments correctly or fully when they onboarded their data. In the past, our only remedy was to clear the data out and do it again correctly. What we can now do is edit it within the data, which will be a big time saver if people want to go back and change the amounts that they want to adjust. So being able to retag in and out of the distribution area is important because it gives us the ability to get to a correct operational calculation by moving things out of costs into distribution. Those are the primary new features in the software. There are a couple of other very small things that are self-explanatory, and you'll notice immediately in the salaries graph we now plot the total salaries as well as direct and indirect salaries. These are quite tiny changes that are all quite self-explanatory. So a significant amount of this release is going to be unnoticed by most of our clients, in that it's really behind the scenes stuff, but we believe that it'll make the entry of data simpler and it'll give us a lot more functionality to fix issues after the event if they were missed during onboarding. As always, if you have any questions with regard to particularly things like monthly data entry editing, please feel free to contact us and we will organise a time to run you through the specifics. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy using the Real-Time CEO new features.